this meeting to order at 6:01 and 5:01. 6:05?
5:01.
5:01. Right, 5:01. Thank you so much. 5:01. And we'll start with the flag salute. Mrs. Lopez, would you like to lead us in the flag salute? Would you caught that? Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we have the wonderful honor of honoring our employees of the year. And I believe there'll be Mr. Billingsley will be running the show.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Lieber. Welcome, everyone. This is that really beautiful special occasion where we get to honor our employees of the year and our teachers of the year. So fitting that it's beginning our Teacher Appreciation Week, and we have our Teachers of the Year and Employees of the Year here with us. So, Mr. Billingsley, thank you. We are doing this in a very kind of appropriately physically distanced way, where we have our employees and our Teachers of the Year waiting outside, kind of spread out, and we're going to be inviting them in one at a time to give them a nice round of applause. So, Mr. Billingsley, thank you so much. We're so happy to do this tonight. You bet. You bet.
So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Fallbrook Union Elementary's Employee and Teacher of the Year recognition. And a very special welcome to our guests of honor this evening, FUESD's Teachers and Employees of the Year, as well as family members and other school site staff attending virtually to support tonight's honorees. So this is a first for our district. My name is Bill Billingsley, and I'm the Associate Superintendent of Human Resources. And in a minute, our principals are going to be walking through that door and taking a seat, and they are going to talk briefly about their Employee of the Year and their Teacher of the Year. But before they do, on behalf of our governing board and our cabinet, we want to congratulate all of tonight's honorees. Each teacher and employee being recognized this evening has demonstrated the very best of what makes Fallbrook Elementary the amazing place it is. So tonight is a very special honor for each employee, and congratulations to you all. So starting with Fallbrook STEM Academy, we're going in alpha order, as is our tradition. The principals and their honorees will come to the back table. They'll speak on behalf of each employee and Teacher of the Year. We have a beautiful certificate for each, some beautifully handmade, locally purchased cookies, sugar cookies, that if you have not seen them, they're beautiful and amazing. So that's another first for us this year. And then I know that the governing board members too will want to, we'll give them a round of applause while they're still here. They'll exit, and then the next group will come in our alpha order. Okay. After everyone's been recognized, we'll have an opportunity to share some refreshments before our regularly scheduled board meeting at 6 p.m. So that's our plan for this evening. So Mr. Nisley is going to start us off.
Kayla's like the stage manager.
She's our stage manager.
We start, just jump right in.
Let's go, Mr. Nisley. Awesome. We're so happy you're here.
So you introduce your employee teacher.
All right, thank you. Well, thank you for having us, great board members, Dr. Singh, members of cabinet. Yeah, I am really honored to recognize Karen Cordova as our Teacher of the Year and Karen Lopez as our Employee of the Year. So I'll start with Karen Cordova. It's a great honor for me to recognize Mrs. Karen Cordova as Fallbrook STEM Academy's Teacher of the Year. Karen has been an exemplary learning center teacher in our special ed program for the past 9 years, and before that was a paraprofessional for 4 years. And I have had the pleasure of working with her for the past 4 years at Fallbrook STEM Academy. Karen is a compassionate teacher that has the respect and admiration of everyone she works with. One thing you learn quickly about Karen is that she loves her students. She knows their individual strengths, their passions and interests. She knows what makes them laugh and their areas of greatest need. Karen leads by example. She has the grace and disposition that parents appreciate and trust, and colleagues respect and admire. She is encouraging to students, parents, and colleagues, and always has a positive attitude. Since her colleague is out on maternity leave this year, Karen has assumed many extra responsibilities. Beyond the ones we've all faced during the pandemic, she has added IEPs, extra meetings with teachers, students, and parents to her already busy schedule. And she has done this all with such a gracious, positive attitude. No one would ever know the extra amount of work she has added to her plate. Not only does she never complain to anyone, she is often the first teacher that volunteers to make changes when needs arise. Therefore, on behalf of her students, the teachers and staff at Fallbrook STEM Academy, it is my pleasure and honor to recognize Mrs. Karen Cordova as our teacher.
Good evening. I will be presenting the Employee of the Year. It is my pleasure to present Karen Lopez as the Employee of the Year for Fallbrook STEM Academy. Karen is an essential part of the Fallbrook STEM Academy team. She exemplifies Fallbrook STEM Academy's core values of innovation, collaboration, risk-taking, and growth in her own unique way. As a reading intervention tech, she meets with multiple groups of students each day. Karen's love of working with children is evident when she greets her students with a warm smile and a quick check-in to ensure that the students are ready to learn. She has invested the time to develop a warm rapport with each of her students. She knows their individual needs and she creates lessons that ensure student success. Collaboration and communication are two of Karen's strengths, which she uses on a daily basis with both her team and the teachers at Fallbrook STEM Academy. Karen has grown as an educator and has been successful at delivering instruction both virtually and in person. And she always does this with a big smile on her face. This is why we at Fallbrook STEM Academy are proud to recognize her as the Employee of the
You want to take a quick picture with the parent? While the next one's coming in. You bet. I'm gonna give you a big hug. Right. Two of us. Thank you. Thank you, dear. Throwing the kids in the hall.
There's a lot of energy out there, which is good.
It's the first time anyone's seen each other.
I know. It's like-
Oh, my lady's laughing.
All right, we're good. Okay, perfect. Good evening, governing board members, Dr. Singh, and cabinet members. It's my pleasure to introduce the teacher and employee of the year for Fallbrook Virtual Academy, Mrs. Jessica Ramirez and Mrs. Alma Sotelo. So, Mrs. Ramirez is the FEA Teacher of the Year. As an educational specialist, she is adept at engaging students, staff, and families and creating plans which support our students to make the most growth as possible. Mrs. Ramirez's gentle and caring nature engages some of the most reluctant students. They love to work for her and with her and never miss the opportunity to join her class. As a colleague, she is a vital part of the grade level team she supports. She gives actionable feedback to best support students in the general education setting, and the family she supports rely on her heavily. They trust that she has their child's best interest at heart and will work tirelessly to make their educational experiences positive. Here's a quote from one of her colleagues. Jessica works above and beyond for the Learning Center students. She goes out of her way to make sure each student feels special and to get the students what they need. She works well with colleagues, parents, and students. She is absolutely loved by her students, and we are so fortunate to have her on staff. Mrs. Alma Sotelo is the FEA Employee of the Year. As an instructional assistant supporting students in our learning center, she has established a positive and patient rapport. Students never miss their meeting with Ms. Sotelo. They look forward to interacting and working with her. They view her as yet another caring teacher who wants the best for their academic journey. The family she supports have nothing but positive things to say about her interactions with their child. The general education teachers she supports value her impact, her input and feedback about how best to support students. Here's a wonderful quote from one of her fellow staff members. Mrs. Sotelo has been crucial to the success of FEA's Learning Center. She is so skilled in working with the students. She was never nervous about supporting the students virtually, and she's proven herself to be a very valuable and effective in distance learning. The parents rave about her and love the progress their children are making with Mrs. Sotelo. Our motto this year at FBA has been just keep swimming. And I think after reflecting upon this year, I know these two skilled, passionate educators did more than just help our students tread water. They helped them swim the English Channel. So I'm so happy, and it really does speak to the great community and family we've built at Fallbrook Virtual Academy to have two members of our special education department be noticed and represented this year as our Teacher and Employee of the Year. So thank you very much. Thank you. Oh. Do you want us? Oh, okay. Oh, did we get together? Okay. Perfect. Here, I'll tell. They're short. Oh, perfect.
That is beautiful. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
They both are. So two special ed teachers to start. So awesome. Oh, okay. Well, we're happy you're here.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Claudia De Leon, the principal at La Paloma. Unfortunately, our Teacher of the Year and our Employee of the Year couldn't be here today, but they send their sincerest gratitude, and I still would like to share something awesome about them. It is my pleasure to begin by honoring Lydia Zapata, La Paloma's Employee of the Year. Lydia has been the bilingual school clerk at La Paloma for 11 years. Not only is Lydia the school clerk for La Paloma, she also supports the Fallbrook Homeschool Academy. Lydia is able to manage the responsibilities of two schools with ease through her attention to detail, her organizational skills, and her ability to multitask. Lydia is a highly respected and well-loved member of our school community. She is extremely knowledgeable and talented. She handles difficult situations with grace and solves problems creatively to ensure positive resolutions. Her colleagues had this to share about her. I've had the pleasure of working with Lydia at different levels at La Paloma. Although she is wonderful to work with in each aspect of her job, getting to share the front office with her has been the best. Lydia is a remarkable person to work with. Her positive attitude and love for our school shines through daily. She is always willing to help out others and makes the front office a great place to be. Lydia will go above and beyond to make sure the students have all the information they need to be successful, and the parents as well. Lydia's determination and dedication to La Paloma is something to be admired. Thank you, Lydia, for all you do to support staff, students, and families. It is an honor to work with you, and I am so proud to recognize you today and every day for all you do and continue to do for La Paloma. And now I would like to recognize Tiffany McMahon as La Paloma's Teacher of the Year. Tiffany is a highly knowledgeable, dedicated, collaborative, and supportive educator, both as a teacher and as a colleague. Tiffany takes the time to get to know her students and family and goes above and beyond for them. Her colleagues had this to share about her. Tiffany always has innovative, creative ways to approach teaching the standards and making sure kids really understand what they need to. Her instructional decisions are student-centered and engaging. She is always happy to lend a hand to a team member and share any resources she creates or finds. Another colleague has to share. Tiffany has been a lifesaver this year. Tiffany guided the 5th grade team with amazing resources, thoughtful collaboration, and some comic relief when we needed it most. Tiffany knows the curriculum inside and out and is the most organized and high energy teacher I've worked with. I will always be grateful for her guidance, expertise, and friendship. These words reiterate what everyone at La Paloma has to say about Tiffany. Thank you, Tiffany, for your outstanding leadership, hard work, and dedication. It is an honor to work with you, and I am so proud to recognize you today and every day for all you do and continue to do for La Paloma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Singh, Cabinet, Governing Board members. It is an honor and a privilege to recognize Nancy Velasquez Solis, an amazing special education assistant, as Live Oak's Classified Employee of the Year. Nancy has been in the Learning Center at Live Oak since 2015. And during her time with us, she has earned the respect of parents, students, and staff due to her commitment and dedication to the students she works with. She is a true professional and a team player and a valuable member of our special education team. Nancy is a valuable asset to our school community. She serves as a translator for parent-teacher conferences throughout the school year and a mentor for new hires. She is dependable and hardworking and has gone out of her way to get to know and build solid relationships with students and staff. She provides a strong level of support to the people she works with, and she is known to go above and beyond what is expected of her for the good of the students and the school, especially this year. Some of the Live Oak staff stated Nancy is very warm, caring, patient, and dedicated to meeting the needs of her students. Nancy works so well with students. She is a pleasure to have during push-in time. Nancy is extremely flexible and always jumps in to help. We are incredibly fortunate to have such a friendly, kind, and helpful assistant on our special education team. And I am so excited to recognize Mr. Guillermo Acevedo as Live Oak's Certificated Employee of the Year. Although he has only been at our school for a year, Memo has already made an impact on our staff, students, and school community. It is evident when you walk into his room that he loves his job and his students. He provides a safe, comfortable place for his students to learn and thrive in. In the year that he has been with us, Memo has been a supportive teammate and a valued staff member, participating on multiple site and district committees, including ELAC, DLAC, and our ORC team. As a former Fallbrook student, Memo cares deeply about his school and his community. This is evident when you see him attending after-hour school events, playing with his students at recess, and hear him talking about his students' growth and accomplishments in and out of school. Oftentimes when I walk into his room, I will find Memo engaged in conversation with his students about other things than academics. He understands each of his students' learning styles and needs, likes and dislikes, and personal circumstances that affect their performance in school. He is masterful at building relationships with them, and because of this is able to help them achieve great academic success. Memo is a team player and goes above and beyond in all aspects of his responsibilities, serving his students, his school, and his community. And we are so lucky to have him at our Live Oak staff. His Live Oak teammates stated, every time I visit his classroom, the kids are engaged and excited to be there. His classroom is orderly yet fun. Memo is the best example of what a teacher should be. He pushes his students, but he does it with a kind-hearted demeanor. He is a great teammate and has become a mentor to some of our younger staff. He always goes above and beyond to help students. He always cares to ask every student how they are doing every day. Thank you, Memo.
Yes, that was the real picture take. I take that too. Congratulations. Oh, right.
Good evening. I'm Alex Gonzalez, principal of May Ellis. And so good evening, Governing Board, Dr. Singh, Cabinet, colleagues, and friends watching. I'm excited to announce that May Ellis staff has elected Mr. Carlos Jimenez Classified Employee of the Year, as Classified Employee of the Year, and Mrs. Esmeralda Mendiaz Johnson as Teacher of the Year. I'm going to talk about Carlos first. Charles Dickens said, "No one is useless in this world who lightens the burden of it for anyone else." Mr. Jimenez's superpowers include maintaining students' safety during arrival and dismissal times, providing an amazingly clean and sanitized campus, and doing whatever it takes to support the mission of our school at May Ellis. Mr. Carlos is a valued member of our team who exemplifies bilingualism skills and serves as a role model for students. Just today, I asked a student what they like about Mr. Carlos the most, and he said that he wanted to be like Mr. Carlos because he was super cool. And if by super cool, he means that he wants to be a respectful, dedicated, committed, generous, kind, hardworking person, then he's gonna be a good young man. Mr. Jimenez is a kind, supportive individual who always lends a hand when needed and does so with a smile. He goes beyond what's expected from him. For example, he frequently conducts voluntary walkthroughs of the school during the evening to make sure everything's in order. And even though he will claim that he's just driving by, we all know that he cares deeply about May Ellis. One of Mr. Jimenez's most admirable characteristics is that he is dependable. He is always at work and willing to help other school sites. He is quickly to respond to needs, and teachers know that he is always available. In addition, he's a team player that supports his colleagues and inspires them to do their best. He has also trained countless new custodians that are now exemplary workers in the district. And did I mention that Mr. Carlos is also CPI trained? And he does support our special ed team as well. Mr. Jimenez's contributions to May Ellis are endless. He is the quiet hero of our school that is first to arrive each day. Without a doubt, he lightens the burden of our work. His love for education and children is inspiring to all. And it's with great honor that we recognize his efforts with the Employee of the Year Award at May Ellis. Congratulations. It's also my true honor to recognize Mrs. Esmeralda Mendiaz Johnson as May Ellis Teacher of the Year. Rita Pearson said, "Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection, and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be." At May Ellis, no one has exemplified this belief more than Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Mendiaz Johnson is our champion. She is our champion who inspires us to do better and to be better. At the end of last school year, Mrs. Mendiaz Johnson accepted to leave 6th grade and lead a completely new 4th grade team. She immediately provided stability to a grade level that was composed of 3 new teachers. Additionally, she also represents her grade level in our leadership and lighthouse teams. Under her guidance and mentorship, our 4th graders are reaching their academic goals in a year where the improbable has become the possible, to quote Vince Scully. Besides being an amazing 4th grade dual language teacher, Mrs. Mendiaz Johnson is a GLAD trainer. She spent last summer prepping to be a certified GLAD trainer. Her expertise as a GLAD trainer allows her to contribute regularly to our weekly newsletter where she highlights the GLAD strategy of the week. This introduction of the GLAD strategy is followed by a GLAD Plática, little conversation, a chat with her colleagues, where she demonstrates the implementation of the strategy in its simplest terms. To add to her greatness, Mrs. Mendez Johnson is also a cooperating teacher in the teacher induction program. She has taken under her wing 3 of her first-year teachers and has helped them develop as effective teachers. Her mentoring has reached many of us at Mayales. One of our newest teachers shared the following. Mrs. Mendez Johnson, I can't thank you enough for all your support and guidance you showed me throughout these past 2 years of my teaching career. Having you as my mentor has truly been a blessing, to say the least. I couldn't have done it without you. You inspired me to do better and bigger things in this profession and as an individual, because you have a heart of gold. Like Rita Pearson, the power of connecting with others and the insistence of becoming the best that one can possibly be is what truly defines her as a person. Here at Mayales, we have our own Rita Pearson. Her name is Esmeralda Mendez Johnson.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Well done.
Dr. Gonzalez, that was lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let's see, I'll try to grab the mic seat over here. Now, what's our role with masks? Are we?
You can on or off, whatever you're most comfortable with. On or off, whatever you're most comfortable
Thank you.
with. Kind of keep spread out in here.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Singh and cabinet, and our guests from afar. It's good to see everybody tonight. I have 2 wonderful people to introduce you to this evening. Our first is Isaac Benitez. He's our employee of the year. He's the custodian at Mary Fay Pendleton, the daytime custodian. And he's just an amazing dynamic person, and we're so lucky to have him. When we put this out, it was really interesting. We had a lot of staff members who said that they were really happy to see that he was finally on the list and ready to be acknowledged for this. A lot of what his colleagues said about him. He works very hard. He's always positive. He's willing to help with anything. He's dependable, compassionate, has a great smile, dedicated, caring, always ready, great attitude, kind and respectful. And there's not a single task that you can't just talk to him about in passing. He doesn't need to write it on a list. It just gets handled. And he runs with a good team. He's really easy to work with and manages people really well. And we hope to keep him in this position for as long as possible. I know he's destined for greater things with his finance degree as it comes in. The only one thing that he won't do, much like Indiana Jones, is snakes.
Blame you there.
Congratulations, Isaac. And our teacher of the year is Donna Alexander, and she has this great history with us over at Mary Fay. She found herself kind of going back and forth from Santa Onofre to Mary Fay, and found a happy home at Mary Fay teaching transitional kindergarten, some of our youngest students on campus. And when she starts with them, they're 4 years old, and you can imagine having a room full of 4-year-olds and teaching them to read and write and grow academically. And she took that on with grace and style. And if you know her, she's amazingly intelligent and a very dedicated worker. And anytime that she's wanted to accomplish something, she'll come to me and have a plan for it and have research for it. And it just blow my mind with all of the rationale and reasons we should be doing this. And one of the things we were just talking about outside was, she tends to worry that she may be pushing academics too strong sometimes, but she runs a really happy medium where the kids are cared for, they're happy, and they're also growing like you can't believe. When they start kindergarten, they're already ahead of their peers as they get there. So it's a really amazing and dynamic program, and she furthers it every year with STEM and with technology and many tools that she brings from her own toolbox there, so to speak. The one element that was special today is it was the great release of the butterflies today. So if you can recall, the little cocoons have grown and they're butterflies and they're out into the wild now. So thank you and congratulations, Mrs. Alexander. Oh, yeah.
Picture. Thank you. You bet. Should we stand? Yes. Okay, back here. And stuff is gonna come around here too.
Have a good evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes. Oh, am I? Okay.
You are up.
All right. Well, good evening, governing board, Dr. Singh and cabinet. We are very excited here to celebrate two of our amazing employees. Our first one is, I'm Dr. Powers. We have Adrian Ashford, our assistant principal. We have Mr. Hewish, our assistant principal, and our certificated staff, Ms. Chernalak. Our classified staff, Nurse Lopez was not able to be with us today, but I do want to recognize her and the great work that she's done for us this year. Anuncia Lopez is our incredible school nurse. And she was nominated for all the dedication she had for us this year, especially with COVID and just keeping us in check, making sure through our guidance at a middle school level, it gets a little wonky. And so she really kept us in a really good place. She has done an amazing job with all the situations that were presented through her, especially with communication, transparency, and flexibility. I think she kept the calm in the biggest storms we possibly could have. She handled the pandemic with the most consistent and admirable manner. Our school has relied heavily upon her expertise, and she has handled it with grace and ease. Anuncia has been a light during some of the most difficult storms and a beacon during those times of confusion. We are extremely fortunate that Potter Junior High is in her hands, and we know that the families and community of Fallbrook have expressed the same sentiments. So we want to thank Anuncia for her dedication to our students, especially our staff and community during the most uncertain year, because we truly believe all of our health workers are our heroes.
Yeah.
So thank you, Anuncia, for her. And we would like to recognize our amazing Tick Chernalak. She is one of our 8th grade math teachers at Potter. She has been in the district for probably 22 years, right? 22 years. She has gone above and beyond, not only through this year, but every year that she's been with students. When she was nominated, the Facebook comments that we got back were from students from way back when, just could not stop talking about how great she is. She is a teacher who always is willing to help her students, not only at school, online, at home, at a local Starbucks, whatever they need, she is there for them. She's always positive and appreciated by her colleagues, staff, and community. She is extremely dedicated to her students, but especially with her parents and community. She goes beyond her teaching duties by supporting and helping other educators and colleagues to succeed. She is a model to what we would like at Potter, and she's done a great job taking on that leadership role for us. Tick doesn't just teach children, she genuinely helps prepare the heart of every student for the road ahead. Her impact goes beyond the classroom, and she definitely leaves a long-lasting impression to her current and former students. It is with great honor to have Tick represent Potter as our Teacher of the Year.
Thank you.
Okay, you can get back. Don't go too far.
I'll stand right here real quick. Just so you can take the photograph. There you go. Perfect. Upside down.
Congratulations.
Hi, good evening. I'm Lily Perez, the principal at San Onofre School. It is my honor tonight to recognize my two wonderful employees. Unfortunately, Mr. Ramirez couldn't be with us tonight as he holds a second job. I'm proud to announce that Jose Ramirez is our Employee of the Year for San Onofre School. Jose has been with us the past 9 years, and I've worked 7 of those years with Jose. He's a hardworking, dedicated, and valued employee. Jose's strong work ethic ensures that every job gets done. With the building of a new school a few years ago, Jose was zipping through the campus nonstop, put in long hours, and never once complained, always with a smile on his face. He did this with that smile and always in a great mood. I don't know very many people who could do that. With the pandemic upon us last year, Jose was always willing to do whatever it took to ensure that all the rooms were maintained, clean, and disinfected. If I called him in the middle of the night, which I tried not to, or early in the morning to let him know about a room that needed to be quarantined, he was on it. So as our daytime custodian, Jose is often tasked with so many new jobs, but he does this always with a smile on his face. He's one of our top custodians who trains new people, meeting with our maintenance crews, our vendors, facilitating multiple tasks throughout the day. One of the greatest strengths for Jose is that he's a very humble, hard worker. Jose doesn't expect accolades or go out of his way for that recognition. He is also a prime example of servant leadership. Servant leadership occurs when the leader's main goal and responsibility is to provide service to their people, and that's who Jose is. Congratulations. My second honoree tonight is Brittany Rudolph. So excited to have her here today. Brittany has been a member of our staff for the past 5 years. We're thrilled to announce that once again, as of last year, she was our Teacher of the Year also. So Brittany is not only supportive of our military family, she's also a military wife. Brittany Rudolph is currently a first grade teacher, coordinator of the Student Lighthouse team, and a member of the intervention team. Brittany has taught special education and K-6 in several different states, and we're lucky to have her join us finally. On any given day, you may walk into Mrs. Rudolph's classroom and find her taken over by a fun and exciting theme like Camp Read a Lot. One of the days I visited Miss Rudolph's class, she had camp spots throughout the classroom with social distancing, mind you, where students read, participated in standard-based lessons, and had fun while learning. She is always making teaching and learning fun. She's passionate about teaching, and I would put my own child in her classroom in a heartbeat. Brittany is a great example of a teacher leader who also demonstrates servant leadership. Brittany has volunteered her time to plan and support special programs at the school, such as Purple Up Month, a month of the military child, and the Special Olympics at San Onofre School. She developed a student lighthouse team from the ground up and created student leaders in every action team. This year, with our unique schedule, Brittany continued to shine and support all the students by training and volunteering our intervention teachers in small reading groups, phonemic awareness, and continuing to support our school. Thank you, Brittany, for your endless hours of dedication to our student, staff, and Sano community. Any student who has the opportunity to be in your classroom will always remember you.
You're all coordinated too.
I know.
It's beautiful. You look beautiful. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. So good.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hi, good evening, governing board members, Dr. Singh and cabinet members. I am Erica Rainey, the principal of Fraser Elementary. This is Anna Arias, our assistant principal, and we are here to honor these two amazing ladies. So it is my pleasure to honor and to recognize Mrs. Felicia Gonzalez as Fraser's Employee of the Year. Felicia exemplifies the role of a safety monitor. She is dedicated and consistently goes above and beyond her responsibilities on a daily basis, sometimes chasing kids, and that's okay. Felicia comes to work with a positive attitude and a huge smile on her face every day, even though we can't see it because of the mask. It's right there. And it is beautiful. She has created meaningful relationships, not only with our students, but with many of our staff members and families as well. Felicia is dedicated and follows all safety practices and procedures to maintain an orderly work environment. She is flexible and takes on changes as well as challenges with grace and humor. Felicia is definitely one of a kind. Felicia Gonzalez is a true professional that has high standards, not only for herself, but others around her. And it is my honor to recognize her as Fraser's Employee of the Year. Right, it is my honor for me to recognize Mrs. Darcy Oppenheimer as William H. Fraser's Teacher of the Year. Darcy has been teaching in our district for the past 9 years and has taught both 4th and 5th grade at Fraser during this time. Darcy is an advocate for her students, and many members of our staff recognize that she goes above and beyond to meet the needs of her students, especially with a combo class this year. She really knocked it out of the ballpark. Darcy is dedicated and always has a smile on her face. Her classroom environment is welcoming and promotes the social and academic success of all her students. As one of her colleagues mentioned, Darcy contributes countless hours to the success of her students, from having a combo class to being on the Teacher Lighthouse team. I feel Darcy contributes so much to Fraser and has for several years. Darcy is friendly, hardworking, and will stop whatever she is doing in order to help her colleagues become more successful. Therefore, on behalf of our students, teachers, parents, and staff, it is my pleasure to recognize Mrs. Darcy Oppenheimer as William H. Fraser's Teacher of the Year.
Right back there so we can take a picture of it. So wonderful. Congratulations.
Together?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
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 Very well deserved. So far. Pretty cool.
Good evening, I'm Dr. Leah Curcio, and I'm here on behalf of the Mike Choate Center. I could not be more honored to present Denise Morales on behalf of the center. She has been a special education assistant for 13 years. This alone speaks to her kindness and her dedication to our students. She comes to work every day with a positive attitude and a smile. Daily, she goes above and beyond, asking questions, giving feedback to her students, and ensuring that her staff and team have everything that they need. Not only does she do an excellent job at tracking student progress and managing behaviors, she's also creative. She plans art, loves decorating bulletin boards and making templates for all of her colleagues, all of which are examples of her leadership and her above and beyond nature.
The site shared these wonderful comments about her. Overall, she's a perfect person to work with. Kids love her. She builds great relationships with students. And among my favorite comments was, she would give the shirt off her back if it ensured student success. I love her. So thank you, Denise, for all that you do for our preschool students. You make their first schooling experience positive and the absolute best. And here's where she goes.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Robert Trotter. I'm the Director of Transportation. And I would like to thank the governing board, the cabinet members, and Dr. Singh for the opportunity to introduce our representative from the Fallbrook Union Elementary School District Transportation Employee of the Year, Marlene Jimenez. Ms. Jimenez has been with our department for a little over 7 years now. She's an integral part of our department. Her responsibilities cover a wide span of tasks, including but not limited to payroll, accounting, setting up and maintaining all permits and inspections to keep the district fleet and bus drivers on task at all times. These are just some of the basic tasks that she performs. Ms. Jimenez also is challenged constantly with additional duties such as helping with dispatching, assisting all the other departments with ordering of vehicles, and working with the shop to keep their parts and supplies up to date for all of district vehicles. She stays pretty busy. She's highly respected and admired by all of her fellow staff and employees. Her ability to stay on task and be thoroughly organized through all the difficult challenges that we have faced this year make her our choice for this nomination of Transportation Employee of the Year. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you how valuable an employee she is to this department and how much I personally count on knowing that no matter what, she will always be moving forward in the best interest of this district. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Well
brother.
deserved.
All right. Good evening, everybody. We're so happy to be here tonight. I'm Amy Hazley, the Director for Child Nutrition Services. We invited Mrs. Arias to join us as the site administrator for Fraser, because tonight we are super proud to present Jennifer Balbier as our Employee of the Year for Child Nutrition Services. So I have a few words to share. Jenny has worked so hard all year to earn this incredible honor. Tonight, she also represents all of our child nutrition superstars, as well as all of the incredibly hardworking and dedicated classified staff throughout this beautiful district. Every day, Jenny demonstrates our district's values of compassion, respect, and empathy. This year posed incredible challenges for our daily operations, and Jenny consistently rose to meet the challenges with a positive attitude and creative solutions. A fellow coworker nicely summarized Jenny's approach to working this year, saying, "She's not afraid of anything. She's proven to do anything." You have. Thank you. Jenny brings a fun, positive attitude to work every day.
Traditionally, she's the breakfast server at Fraser, but during the pandemic, she stepped up to cover extra shifts and work in different positions, including custodian and delivery driver. Okay. She truly loves feeding kids and strives to connect with her students and their families, whether she's serving meals on campus or handing out meals at her curbside service. So this award is such a well-deserved recognition of Jenny's work ethic, and it truly is a shining star for our whole child nutrition department. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, it is my great honor to recognize Stacy Allen as FUSD's District Office Employee of the Year. Mrs. Allen started with FUSD back in 2015. And when I took over as the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, one of my very first duties was to hire Stacy. And she's been my right-hand person and my confidant for 5 amazing years. So this is a very special honor for myself and for our department. Stacy not only does exceptional work, the things she does every day, supporting students, staff, and parents. She posts certificated job openings, coordinates interviews and job fairs, meets individually with each certificated new hire to provide a personalized individual orientation. She works closely with our new teachers through BITSA and induction. She assists with governing board reporting, with our certificated bargaining associations. There's so many things that you do exceptionally well, Stacy. Truly, you do outstanding work, and you're so appreciated by so many, not just here at the district office, but district-wide. So the District Office Employee of the Year is just such a well-deserved recognition for you. Some of your peers who work here at the district office have said Stacy is proactive, friendly, responsive, and an all-around outstanding employee. She is so dedicated to FUSD and does everything she can to keep up with the need for new teachers. She shows compassion, respect, and empathy to all. Stacy is always helpful, courteous, and always goes above and beyond what is expected. Every encounter with Stacy is a pleasant one. How true. This has been a challenging year with continuous hiring. No one needs to tell you that, Stacy. She is always professional, willing to help problem solve. She's an exemplary employee and well-deserving of being nominated Employee of the Year. So a heartfelt congratulations, Stacy Allen, District Office Employee.
Thank you, everyone. It's my privilege.
Wait, you gotta take a picture.
We're together all the time. Take a little picture real quick. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations.
So great.
So one more piece of business here. A very important piece of business. All right, and now I can continue with the great pleasure of announcing our district Teacher and Employee of the Year. So the district selection for Teacher of the Year is Tick Srinalak from Potter Junior High. Tick, thank you so much for all that you do for our students and have done for so many years, and your connection to our community. It's so wonderful to be able to recognize you as our district teacher of the year. So thank you for everything that you've done. And we have Jenny back. Okay, good. On the district selection for employee of the year is Jennifer Balbier from Child Nutrition Services. And again, Jennifer, do you remember the day when we surprised you when you were handing out meals and Dr. Singh and we all rolled up and we were trying to hide from you, but we couldn't? Yes. And we got to see you in action, dedicated, just handing out meals and being positive and funny with parents. So we so appreciate all that you do, the dedication to our students and to our Child Nutrition Services Department, and so well deserved. So congratulations for being our district employee of the year.
To everybody else.
Part the seat.
We're dance moms.
Oh, you're
Dance moms. How great is that?
One of these years we'll dance.
Can you guys just wait just 1 second? Can we have would our governing board members like to just say anything real quick before,
Sure.
because there was no time to do that for everybody.
Would anyone like to start? First, I would like to say this is such a thrill to be here with you in person, since we've missed this opportunity completely last year. And it is wonderful. We think the world of every one of our teachers and employees of the years. It's such an honor to be able to sit here and get to meet you. And some of you we haven't met before.
Right.
And to see what a great job and to hear all the comments. So thank you again for all your service to our district.
Awesome. Awesome. Good. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Congratulations. Mrs. Lever, do we want to take a break now? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, Dr. Singh, that concludes our ceremony. So
Thank
thank
you.
you. Any closing remarks, Dr.
I
Singh?
just thank you, Mrs. Lever, for your comments. You can just, when you hear the term above and beyond, I kept thinking, if I had a tally for every time someone said above and beyond, you know, what I love about having the opportunity to hear all that is all of our employees and teachers of the year represent the phenomenal work that happens on behalf of every employee and every teacher in our district. They're so representative and they're chosen by their peers, which is so special. They're recognized and acknowledged by the people they work with. So thank you. What a lovely evening. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
It was a wonderfully organized service because we got to see them all
I know.
safely. So thank
It
you
was
for
just great.
organizing.
Thank
such
you,
a-
Human Resources. That's exactly right. They know how to
Pass
coordinate.
that on, Dr.
Award
They
Singh.
know how to coordinate.
Okay, we'll take a 5-minute recess.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
There's treats and snacks.
We'd like to reconvene our board meeting. And we will now begin with our hearing session. Oh, I'm sorry, we'll now begin with approval of the minutes of April 19th, 2021 regular meeting.
I so move.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Great. Any comments? Any concerns? Okay, we'll take a vote. Mrs. Lopez? Aye. Mrs. Lundin?
Aye.
Mr. Favela?
Aye.
Mrs. Levis? Aye. And I vote aye. And the minutes have been approved. Now we'll move on to community relations. Do we have, at the hearing session, do we have any letters or comments?
Yes, we do. We have just one comment from Leticia Maldonado Stamos. Subject of comment is Fallbrook Allier meeting. Leticia, you can hear us? You ready?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh. Okay. I've got my computer going in one place and my phone in another, and okay, let's see if this is going to work. Okay, so thank you for the opportunity to address you all today. As I think you all know, we held our 17th annual, I'm going to put, there's feedback on my end. Let me see if I can.
You sound good.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
You sound good to us.
Okay, well, let me take my earphones off. Maybe I can't hear that way. Okay. So anyway, as I think you all know, we held our 17th annual Fallbrook Allier this past Saturday. And I wanted to take a few minutes to publicly thank all of the volunteers that took on the challenge to put this event on this year. The certificated staff members, classified staff that participated, administrators, parents, students, community members, and of course, board members. It just, we wouldn't have had a chance of even dreaming about it if we didn't have the support of everyone involved. And I'm very proud and humbled to work with all of these folks. They pulled this event together in very short order to benefit all of our Fallbrook families. And it's just a testament to their commitment to having a good, strong community. We had a large number of families that didn't come and pick up their backpacks and their books. So we're going to contact the schools to see how we can best get the backpacks and books into the hands of the students, because that's where they need to be. So please expect a call from us in the next couple of days to figure out how we can do this principles. We also had, I'm very also proud to work with Candelaria Angeles and Leah Curcio and Dr. Gonzalez, who accomplished just a fantastic virtual Fallbrook Allier event. We want every family to benefit from this fantastic opportunity, the guest reader stories. And this is a wonderful resource that our families can enjoy for a long time. So we're hoping that we can get the link, the main link for the event, on maybe the school district's website, as well as the individual schools' websites, so that families can access it for however long we decide we'd like to have it up and running. So again, we will be contacting the district and the schools to find out how best we can utilize this resource for our families. So again, I thank everyone who played a role in making this possible for our families. It's just, there's just not enough words to express the gratitude that we feel for all of our volunteers. So I just want to say, si se puede, and thank you very much.
And I would like to say thank you for your 17 years of commitment to this fabulous program. It is amazing how you pulled it off in a pandemic. And now the year after the pandemic, it was still online virtually. And I know that a lot of us had to learn some skills to be able to read our books. And everybody seemed to step up to the plate and figure that out. I also want to say, I'm sure Dr. Singh will make arrangements to add these to the school sites and the district sites. It's such an invaluable resource to have a book read to a child. And again, thank you for your commitment. We really appreciate all that you've done to enrich our students. Any other comments? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we will begin a report from the board, and I will start left to right. Would you like to start?
Sure. So I was able to participate in Career Day at La Paloma with some first graders. And that was a lot of fun. They had some really great follow-up questions that they had prepared for me. I did a webinar with the California Department of Education on supporting student resilience by using outdoor spaces for learning and play that had some great resources that I shared with our staff. I participated in the second portrait of an 8th grader meeting, and I always love to hear from our stakeholders and especially the students. So great to hear directly from them. And I was really touched by the survey that the moderator shared showing the first meeting, our survey of what everyone thought were the most important skills, and the highest that really stood out at the top was empathy and human interactions. And he pointed out that those survey results were particular to Fallbrook, that they were different depending on different communities. And I think that says a lot about our town and what we want for our students. I was able to attend the Males open house only because the silver lining of COVID, that it was recorded, because I got busy and missed the whole thing. And, but it's so great, you know, in this time that a lot of the things that we're offering are recorded, like Alair. So parents that are busy, they're working, they can still participate. And I was able to visit Fallbrook STEM Academy and La Paloma. And that was a great visit just to see not only at the STEM Academy, but also at La Paloma, how you know, STEM is it's being used to give the students something to be motivated to speak and write and communicate about, and something that they're intrinsically interested in. And then it was great to hear from Dr. Singh, you know, some of the background about how the STEM Academy came to be, and really why you've put particular people in leadership positions at particular schools based on their strengths and the needs of those schools. And then to talk to, you know, the principals and the APs and to hear their passion and see that, you know, see Mr. Nisley and how excited he is about the STEM project-based learning, and to talk to Ms. De Leon and hear about how passionate she is about literacy. And it's just the perfect fit. So it was really great to see that and be in some classrooms. And then, I was able to do a book for Alair, and I was going to say same thing you did, Mrs. Lieber, is I was very proud of myself figuring out how to record an ebook and do it all at the same time. So I learned something as well. And I wanted to thank the committee of Alair for their dedication in making that event happen. And I look forward to, I was out of town, but I look forward to seeing the recording of that as well. And that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Favela.
Well, it was good to know that Back to School Night was recorded, because I unfortunately missed it. I've missed. It was an incredibly busy week for softball. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Besides that, don't have much. I know that Cinco de Mayo is coming up. I just wanted to give a mention to give some consideration to the celebration. I've seen it manifest in different ways, and there's a lot of good history, a lot of good local history. Pio Pico was born on Cinco de Mayo, a very historic person to California. His ranch has become Camp Pendleton, and so there's a lot of good lessons there that I hope that, you know, our teachers and, you know, can take advantage of. You know, it's a great day to celebrate, but there's a lot of good history there. So hoping that will be taken into account. Just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. Thank you. And then we'll, Mrs. Suzanne?
I would say one of the highlights of my month was also the Fallbrook LAR literacy event. First of all, it's such a great idea, such a great annual event. And its impact is felt, as you were saying, not just for the kids we read to, but for ourselves. reconnecting us as what it's like to read to a group of children. And I too did it as a recording. And thank you, Dr. Curcio, and thank you, Mr. Fell, for rescuing me and helping me get the recording where it needed to be. But I did want to congratulate Dr. Curcio, Maria Gomez, Leticia Maldonado Stamos, the entire committee at LAR. It's a lot of work. It was done very creatively this year. The district was a fabulous partner with this. Dr. Singh, thank you. And that was terrific. I was really glad to be able to do that. I too was in the portrait of an 8th grader, and it's interesting to see how we're sort of tackling different issues in each of the sessions and where it seems to be taking us. So I'm looking forward to the next one as well. And that's my report.
Pretty much what everybody else has done. I did participate in the portrait of an 8th grader, the second meeting. Had a little technical difficulty at the beginning, but finally got in. And I'm just amazed at the student participation. When we break into the small groups and have our discussions, the students are not shy about giving their opinion. And it's just been really, really rewarding to see that and to listen to what they feel are the things that are necessary for them to move forward into the world. So I am looking forward to the next meeting where it sounds like we're going to really get into some of the competencies and what this final portrait might look like. I know we have a couple more meetings, but I think that's going very well. I had 2 amazing visits to schools. We were able to see La Paloma and the Fallbrook STEM Academy. Thank you so much for letting us be at La Paloma. We have some incredible teachers out there, and you walk into their classrooms and the kids are engaged and everybody's happy, the smiles on their faces, and they want you to see what they're doing, which is lovely. And it was great to have the history behind some of the schools, to know the background of the Fallbrook STEM Academy, that some of the trials and tribulations that had gone through before it turned into that school. And the schools now look beautiful. They're not only doing stuff inside the classrooms, outside the classrooms are fantastic. So I appreciate Dr. Singh and giving us that history and being able to share that with us. I love visiting the classrooms and seeing the kids and what they're going through, and now that they're able to be back in school, and you would never know it from them, from what's happening in the classrooms now, that there was really a stop. They are jumping right in, and the lessons that they're doing, again, some of the most fabulous teachers that I've seen. So thank you so much for those visits. So great.
Okay, thank you. And I also read a book for all the year. I love the skill I learned. I feel like I've grown in leaps and bounds in my technical skills. And I also attended Portrait of an 8th grader, and I really appreciate the work that's being done in that. And I wanted to say that Mr. Favela is a great coach, and his team came in 2nd place. It's a big commitment of his time. Okay, and that's the end of our board reports. I'd like to now turn it over to the superintendent.
Of course. Thank you, Mrs. Lieber. Well, thank you for all the comments. I too want to echo our deep gratitude for all of the folks who worked on the Fallbrook LAR event. What a special thing, and to have made it as special as it is. Just virtually, the combination of virtual and in person, it's just remarkable. We are thrilled to be able to put the links on our websites, and so we'll reach out tomorrow to work on that. The portrait of an 8th grader, to have close to 100 people logging in, just phenomenal. And the work that our facilitators through Battelle for Kids, to be their pros, navigating all those people and doing the right breakout groups. And it's been so meaningful. So I really appreciate your participation in that. Mr. Favela, I really appreciate your comments earlier about Cinco de Mayo this week, and I especially appreciate the information and the resources that you shared with us. We have in turn shared that with all of our teachers in the district, and we appreciate that so much, acknowledging that, yes, it's celebratory, but there's some very important local context that we want our students to know about as well. So thank you for sharing that information with us. This was also this last week, and this week, as you know, we have a resolution on for it's the week of the teacher. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But we also, last week, we had Bus Driver Appreciation Day, which was fantastic. We went to the bus yard, and we have our bus drivers are really, really special. as you know. And this week is Lunch Heroes this week, this Friday, and we'll be acknowledging CNS staff across the country. That's a national recognition. And as you know, what a critical role that our bus drivers and our CNS staff have played during the last year. So it's fun to recognize them. We had Principal Day, Day of the Principal last Friday. So it's a fun time of year, right? To be acknowledging everyone and honoring and celebrating the great work that people do. And then we'll be having, in 2 weeks, we'll be having, it'll be the week of the classified employee. And so we'll have a resolution at our next board meeting, and we'll be excited to talk about that. So overall, after just what seems like just really hard, like this has been a hard, heavy lift, right, for a long time, it feels joyful and happy, and having people back at our district office, although we're being very smart about being apart, it feels nice to have the energy, doesn't it? It feels nice to have the energy back. So that's all I have, Mrs. Lieber. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
And we really appreciate all that the district has done to pull off all of these honors for, the bus drivers, the lunch heroes, and our teachers and employees of the year. So thank you for doing that wonderful work. Okay, we'll now move on to our presentations. We have La Paloma Elementary School making a wonderful presentation for us tonight.
Thank you. Mrs. Lieber, I'll just start by, and thank you so much, ladies, for coming. Tonight, we have this beautiful presentation about our Language Academy at La Paloma. And I just wanted to, as our two fabulous, our principal and teacher start this evening, just to know that as you're listening to this beautiful program at La Paloma, these same strategies and materials are being used with all of our newcomers across. We have newcomers programs working in 4 schools, and I can't think of a better pair here to share with us what's happening for our newcomer students. We're so proud of it, and we're really thrilled that you're here. You betcha. You betcha.
Good evening, Dr. Singh, Cabinet, and Governing Board members. My name is Claudia De Leon, and I am the proud principal of La Paloma Elementary School.
And hello, my name is Virginia Escobar-Wallace, and I am the Language Academy teacher at La Paloma, as well as the Reading Intervention Coordinator.
Today, we are here to share about the La Paloma Language Academy. The Language Academy provides small group support to our newcomer students in grades 3rd through 6th grade. The mission of the Language Academy is to create a welcoming, language-rich culture where students are valued, feel safe to learn and share in order to develop literacy and academic English language proficiency. Our vision is to empower students with the belief that their voice has value, developing the ability to successfully communicate and participate in academic, grade-level tasks and conversations. Our wonderful staff that supports our newcomers is Miss E, Virginia Escobar. She focuses on language arts and ELD support. And we have Britt Scruggs, Miss Britt. She is our Language Academy tech, and she focuses on providing the students with math support. In our presentation, we will share about our teaching methods, specifically our principles and strategies. We will also share progress and provide you with ELA and reading data. And lastly, we will share our discoveries and next steps. Our Language Academy staff supports all of our students, are intentional in their decision-making and utilize a variety of instructional strategies that support our newcomer students. I will now hand it off to Virginia, who will share our teaching methods.
So our Language Academy is built upon these 3 pillars. First is our supportive language, supportive learning culture, where newcomers feel connected and have the ability to use their first language. Our intent is to validate their language and in hopes that they discover that it's truly an asset. So they use Spanish kind of as into activities, or maybe when they don't have the language to express content. And we really want to make them feel comfortable. Our second foundational pillar is all of our ELD, ELA curriculum and assessment is research-based and standard-driven. We don't have time to fool around. And lastly is reading engagement. We invite our students to experience the magic and joy of reading. Research tells us that being an engaged, proficient reader is the best predictor of future achievement. And our class motto is the more you read, the better you get. So they all know. So let's take a look at our methodologies. Our ELD program is content-based, which essentially means that I take the English language development or language and I integrate it into the content, reading in this case. So it's either reading a literature piece or reading a science-focused piece. And if this is a more meaningful path to linguistic and academic success. So the reading program that we utilize is SIPS, and it is Systematic Instruction and Phonological Awareness, Phonics, Sight Words, and Sight Words. It is a structured literacy program, which is kind of a fancy way of saying phonics based. It's very explicit instruction based on foundational skills. It was created by Dr. John Shuckelbein, who was a leader in phonics in California, in collaboration with the California Reading and Literature Project, of which I've been part of for many years. Oracy is another important pillar, which places interaction and dialogue at the heart of every learning opportunity in our class. And our room essentially is a sentence frame bill, is what we call it. And it's full of purposeful opportunities to talk. And lastly, assessment. Our assessment is persistent, authentic, and ongoing. It informs our instructions. It helps to set goals and to monitor progress. So next I wanted to share with you the BPST, which is the basic phonics skills test. And there's a reason we're going to talk about, take a look at the data later, and it'll make a lot more sense. So in terms of assessments, we use a lot of assessments, 4 different assessments 4 times a year, but the BPST is the driver of our program. It provides a more nuanced understanding of the literacy skills our students already grasp and the phonics skills that they continue to struggle with. And it measures letter sounds, phonics patterns, and decoding skills. So if you take a look at this visual here, you notice that it's broken up into the grade level skills, which relate directly to the researched stages of reading. So the yellow is kindergarten, obviously the alphabet, and this is called the alphabetic stage. And it correlates directly to our beginning SIPS reading program. The second stage is blue, it's first grade. You notice all the skills that you learn in first grade. That's the spelling pattern stage, and that correlates directly to our SIPS extension. So like if a student's having difficulty with spinal E, I know they go directly to extension lessons 1 through 15. So it's very organized. The green and pink is correlated to 2nd and 3rd grade, and the polysyllabic morphemic stage, and morphemes are essentially prefix and suffixes. And that correlates to the challenge level. And we also have SIPS Plus, which is a combo of the beginning and extension, and that's designed for 4 through 12th grade students, and it's kind of age appropriate. But we can strategically pace our students at the correct level and then form groups. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look, at our curriculum. And what we're going to do is see our curriculum and students in action. I've already shared that our ELD is content-based, and this is a more academic English proficiency focus. We're going to take a look at a student, Jade. She is a 5th grade newcomer with strong L1, and this is from October. And we kind of just dove deep into Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. If you guys are fans of the cat, I am. They spent a couple weeks front-loading vocab, reading, singing, doing oral language with sentence phrase. And this flip grid is a culmination of that study. Can you make it louder?
That's a lot of notes, sorry, guys.
she recommends this book. So this is in October, so it's early in the school year. Now, if we take a look back at our SIPS program, SIPS is, SIPS, the SIPS lesson we're going to take a look at with Hade again is systematic instruction in English. And this time she is reacting to Jack and the Gold. After completing the SIPS lesson, we discuss character analysis now. And we utilize sentence frames and oral practice, discussion anchor charts, graphic organizers, and the culminating activity is a split grade. And it's exciting. Hope you can hear her. You can really hear her be more confident. So let's hopefully.
In my opinion, Jack is adventurous because he left his house by himself to look for gold. Do you agree or disagree with me? And why?
So you can kind of hear the confidence in her voice. This is only after 4 months, and then students can respond to her on Flipgrid. So it's just really a lovely program. Next is quick reads, which are short nonfiction texts with a focus on vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. High frequency words and grade level phonics patterns. So if you take a look at the BPST, we can move them right into the quick reads as well. And this is supported by research as well as California Reading and Literacy Project. Lastly is our integrated technology, and that's a really important part of our program. Use Raz Kids, which is an interactive reading portal. The kids love it. I assign reading at their levels. And they can also sometimes read stories in Spanish and then read them in English, which really strengthens English acquisition. And then we're going to take a look, at another student. She is a beginning student with very little first language. She speaks Cajoval, and she's at the beginning level of SIPS, and she's responding to a story, I See Clothes. I See Clothes. So let's listen to.
I see 2 sacks. I see 3 shoes. I see pants. I see shirts. Bye.
Good job.
We also provide the students with math support using Freckle, Extra Math, Boom Cards, live worksheets, EduSiri, and Mammoth Math. Likewise, Britt collaborates, who is our Language Academy Tech, with the students' classroom teachers to determine areas of strength and growth to best support the students. She also collaborates with other math techs in the district. This collaboration has built community within our district newcomer techs and has helped strengthen our program. As Virginia shared earlier, ongoing assessment is crucial in supporting our students and their individual needs and growth. The students are assessed on an ongoing basis to inform instruction, set goals, and monitor progress. We will now share the progress the students have made. Our newcomer population consists of 8 students with prior schooling and 4 students with limited prior schooling opportunities. Research shows that when a student has a strong first language, along with prior schooling, they are able to make substantial growth and have a strong understanding of literacy and phonics skills. Our students with limited first language will also make growth with additional support. And Virginia will now share our BPST data.
So now that you know all about the BPST, the basic phonics skills test, let's take a look at our growth. So the blue line are our students that have a strong first language. And they actually grew 3 reading phonics stages. They went from beginning alphabetic stage to the 3rd polysyllabic morphemic stage. And so they now can decode proficiently, but they still need continued focus for language development, vocabulary, as well as fluency instruction in order to be able to comprehend what they read. But if we take a look at the pink, those are our students that have limited first language, and they progress, but not as quickly. They entered this year in the alphabetic stage and they progressed to the spelling pattern stage. And research tells us that these English learners with limited L1 will progress more slowly and need additional time and support to progress in English. So now let's take a look at our STAR data. Or we can
While the BPST measures student recognition of letter sounds, phonics patterns, and their decoding skills, STAR reading really focuses on vocabulary and comprehension. The STAR reading measures students' knowledge of and understanding of vocabulary, as well as their ability to apply the vocabulary strategies they're learning. The data shows that the students are making progress. As they develop their foundational skills, they are able to apply what they have learned to make growth in reading as well, which is beautiful to see. Virginia will now share our Express data.
Okay, so the Express test measures English language proficiency. Students developmentally move from beginning level to early intermediate, then to intermediate, and then to early advanced. So there are various levels. So what we've done here is the first bar is showing one student progress 2 language proficiency levels thus far. And the majority of our students progressed 1 language level. We had 1 student progress 3 language structures. There are 5 structures within 1 level. And that's because the student, she was at like an intermediate level already. So it gets more and more difficult. And our last student has only been with us for 3 months and he progressed 2 language structures within a level. Okay, so what are our discoveries? All right. We discovered, well, because of COVID, we had to limit the number of students per group. But the silver lining was that our newcomers with limited, we discovered our newcomers with limited L1 benefit tremendously from tier 3 instruction. And they deserve more time. They need more time. Research tells us that, and they'll need more support and greater time. Our second discovery is we actually had to adopt the learning center model because of COVID when we returned. And I had to limit the numbers of students once again. So we had small groups of 3 to 5, and they were just so much more beneficial for all of our newcomers. They progressed. I believe that's part of the reason we had so much progress. The smaller groups that were able to create, and they were more intentional. And it facilitated much more speaking per student. And then lastly, our graduated newcomers need continued monitoring and small group instruction and support. So they know the phonics, but they still need help to continue to move forward.
As educators, we're constantly monitoring and adjusting to support our students. Based on our discoveries, we would like to continue the amazing progress our students are making through our continued collaboration and communication with the classroom teachers. That's crucial to make sure that the students are receiving all the support they need within the classroom as well. The exposure to vocabulary, rich text, opportunities for the students to communicate with each other and with the other students. So that ORSC piece is huge, and La Paloma has been really working really hard on that piece, as have all of the schools. That's something that we've been working on. Providing that tier 3 instruction and additional time and support for our newcomer students with that limited first language, providing those smaller groupings, and then just continuing to monitor the progress and provide that ongoing support for our graduated newcomers.
And so to sum it all up, we would like to leave you with this quote from Every Child, Every Day. So when students read accurately, they solidify their word recognition, decoding, and word analysis skills. Perhaps more important, they are likely to understand what they read, and as a result, to enjoy reading. And that's really what we want for our students, to become engaged, proficient readers and speakers.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share about the La Paloma Language Academy and just the amazing work that our teachers are doing and the progress that the students are making. That's just, we really wanted to show how beautifully they are progressing.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Questions, anyone?
Any questions, anyone?
Just wanted to say, whenever we hear presentation or talk to staff about the methods they're using, I'm reminded that teaching is a science. And our staff is using these research-based programs and methods. And it's just, it's so inspiring to know that we're not just throwing things at the kids and hoping it works. We're using what has been proven to work for all of our students. So thank you.
I would also like to just add, there's nothing like a classroom for a child that walks in and feels loved and cared about by their teacher. That really is the foundation for children wanting to come to school, and especially being new to the language and new to the country. And we know that language acquisition takes time, takes many years, as we know. And I'm so appreciative, Mrs. E. When you walk into their classroom, as we had the opportunity to on Friday, it's an environment that is so loving and welcoming, and the children are honored no matter where they are. And that's true among our teachers across our district, and you are just a beautiful representation of that. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome. Very nice. Beautiful. So thank you, ladies. Will you send in Dr. Curcio? Because I think she's going to be up for us. It's just rotating chairs tonight.
Well, it is.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. All right, as you know, Mrs. Liebert, next on our, we had an interest on the part of many of our board members to learn a little bit more about our Migrant Ed program. And so Dr. Curcio and her amazing crew is here to share with us just an overview of how we're doing in our program for migrant students. Our staff here, they do the work of what feels like 100 people, and we're just so grateful. So thank you, ladies, for being here.
Thank you, governing board. Good evening. I'd like to just introduce the team, because one of the requests was the opportunity to meet them and know who's working in this program. And I have Mrs. Reyes and Mrs. Lopez, and I will tell you one really cool thing about both of them is they both grew up in our schools. They went to La Paloma, and they're graduates from here, and now they're part of our team giving back to our students.
Wow. Love that.
Terrific. And I will highlight that community connection is probably one of the most important aspects of our program. While I am presenting tonight, they're going to be here in case you have questions or they want to remind me. Migrant education is sometimes a misunderstood program. It is actually for qualified students who are children of migratory workers. They are not always English learners. They are not always newcomers. It really is about that their parents are working in the migratory fields and have made a move within the last 3 years. So you can be a migratory worker, but if you never leave your community or you don't make a move for work within 3 years, you don't qualify any longer for the program. So the goal of the program, it's a federal program, is to provide academic supports, because based on those moves, moving, we know, creates gaps in student needs. The other piece of the program is not just the academic side, but it is also the family engagement parent side. Migrant, we like to say, is a very holistic program. It addresses the academics, yes, but there's also social emotional that's addressed, medical, community resources. And this is why trust in this team is so important, and them being rooted members of our community really helps us do our work well. So because it is a supplemental program, and it's a federal program on top of all other supplemental programs, so you kind of have this layer thing. There is one, we receive the funding as a district through reimbursement. And that means until we do the services, we don't receive the funds. The other side of this is we do a service plan, which I am so grateful our team worked very hard with our parents to get that to you at our last board meeting. But the service plan is approved by our parent council. Then it goes to the region 9, which is San Diego County and Orange County, strangely enough, and then the state, all for approval. And when you approve the plan, you're affirming your commitment to serve the students, that you're saying, we're going to do the things we say we're going to do. And I promise you, we do every year. And we do it with pride and a lot of fun. Our services kind of cover 5 goals, and really it is about supporting academic gaps in reading, writing, English language development, and then in math. And what we do every year is we do needs assessments with our parents, and I say we We call our parents and individually meet with them to assess their needs every year in the fall. And then based on that and our academic data that we receive from local assessments and even state testing, then we determine areas of needs, but we also have to serve all of these areas. Parent community involvement is a huge portion of what we do. We have PAC meetings 6 times a year, parent workshops, parenting classes. And then we also have to incorporate learning opportunities that integrate and instill self-pride. And it's something that we're proud of, and we're always thinking about how to do that better and more inclusively. And then we have to offer a summer program. And I'm going to get more deep in this. This is just kind of an overview of what guides us. So you saw a plan that looked had this cover sheet and 90 pages later, I'm going to break that down for you. But what is important to know is, there's always general information, the allocations that they're projecting we're going to get, again, if we do all the things we say. An overview of the program, which talks about the goals of the program, our regular school year, which is our kind of 180-day kind of calendar school year is what we call regular school year. And then summer programs. And then the other education, health, nutrition, and social services. That's the medical referrals, the social emotional supports, community referrals, all of those things. So our team really tries to stay on top of what is available and out there in our community and in this area. Then we have parent advisory councils and then administration. I'm proud to say that we are really great about layering our funding. So my support to this program is not paid for out of these dollars, which is a wonderful thing. And we don't actually have an administrator. It goes all directly 100% to our kids and direct services. So an overview would be that when you looked at the plan, there were some sections that didn't have anything in them. And that is because we are a district service agreement. We don't provide the identification and recruiting. The region has people that go out and help us do that. We will communicate, our team communicates with the attendance clerks, and if they believe there's a migrant family that has moved in, they will send their information and have the recruiters come out, but we don't do identification and recruiting. And preschool services, so 3 and 4-year-olds, the region actually provides the child early readiness services. We do instruction K-8. And so we have 2 lovely migrant team members that are going to provide that service. And then during the regular school year, the majority of our budget does go there to provide after school tutoring, evening classes for students, and we actually pay our Fallbrook teachers to provide those services. So there's a really strong connection to the schools and to our teachers. In our plan, there were 23 class offerings that we are going to offer in the future. And all of our services are about 30 hours to help meet some of those objectives of the program. We are going to hire a full-time intervention teacher to provide some of those classes, some evening, and also to provide services to students who can't go to after school, who need virtual services or need times outside of the school day for that support. We're looking to take advantage of some of our counseling to find someone with that kind of area of expertise, school counseling, marital family therapy to help with that holistic side and the community resources. And then again, our PAC and parent meetings, 25% of our budget goes to our summer services because that's a requirement of the program. So just a quick summary, regular school year, we offer reading and writing classes, math. Next year, our writing will be through content. It's going to be through social studies and art. We've spent the last 2 years doing STEM, so we're kind of moving into current events and social studies as a new kind of flair. We also do 7th and 8th grade study techniques and preparing for high school. We call it the 4 C's, geared toward career and college readiness, but also the avid strategies to support them in middle school. And then we have a speech and debate, which is really focused on literacy and ELD. And our students in 7th and 8th grade actually compete in a regional speech and debate competition. And I think 2 years now we have a winner at the region and one that actually wins the state. So something to be proud of. And then we do offer leadership classes because again, it is about the whole child and supporting the whole child. And so in 7th and 8th grade, There's a leadership camp that the county provides through Friday Night Live. We send 20 students there. We have 2 awesome middle school teachers who go with them. I love that they do that for me. And then one of our newest additions is the academic small groups tutoring, which will involve the teacher that our approved plan will hire. Parents, we have parent conferences, state and regional, parenting classes. I don't know if you have had the opportunity to hear feedback about Mr. Mesa. He has done some great work with our parents in the social, emotional, and parenting aspects. But we have had Dr. Villarreal and PK come. So just depending on the year to keep it from being the same thing every year, we change those contractors to bring in a different perspective. And then we have our PAC meetings for parents, which are run by me and the team. And we cover topics that parents want. They develop those topics at the first meeting, then also some of the topics that just will support them with math nights, literacy nights, language development. And parent workshops are all done based on parent feedback and needs assessments we do. Our summer programs, we've learned a lot from COVID and distance learning. And so we have always done a summer kickoff to ensure that our families that aren't able to attend summer school have things they can do in the summer to keep their skills up that are enjoyable games. And they work with teachers. Well, with this will now be a drive-through event with some learning kits with really cool fun things in it, but we will be doing that the Friday after school weeks out. So we capture any families that do have to move or go somewhere to work in the summer. We want them to be able to have some supports. We will then offer our summer school program, which I presented on previously. And then we do a return to school event as a part of our summer services to help prepare students for coming back to school and make sure that they have the supplies that they need and even some little introductory things to the classroom so that they're ready to go. And we'll do that in August. So that is a summary of the plan and an opportunity to meet this lovely team. I couldn't ask for a better team.
Thank you so much.
Any questions?
How many migrant kids do we have?
We have 687, 238 qualified families.
Okay.
We're actually one of the largest programs in the
I
county.
think the second, I think we might be the second largest. Yeah, the second largest program in the county.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do those families usually move? Are they moving once a year? Are they moving multiple times in 1 year?
I think it could be both. I think it really depends. So we have some that move in the summer and work at different locations in the summer. And then we have some that move over the breaks, just depending on where the work is and how that works. We have families that move to Northern California and Imperial Valley. And so for a student to qualify, they have to move with the parent at least once within that 3-year period.
And these are mostly agricultural workers?
Yeah, the federal program as a whole, ours is agricultural workers, flower fields, but it could be fishing and hatchery and lumber as well. That doesn't tend to be. Don't get very many of that.
Yeah.
Our recruiters also call back families that have previously been in the program. So if they've moved within the time that they, that they exited the program, we try to get them back into the program.
Thank you. Amazing.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so
It was
much.
A lot of information. It was good.
Thank you so much.
Presentation.
Thank you for coming
Definitely
tonight.
The program it used to be. It's so
Yeah.
much better.
It is.
So much better.
Nice. Thank you for all you do.
So now we will move on to the board operations. And we have an action item, the week of the teacher resolution. And this is the Fallbrook Union Elementary School District Resolution 16, 2021, week of the teacher, May 3rd through the 7th, 2021. And I believe, Susan, you'll begin.
Whereas education is the most vital activity we as a society undertake to ensure the well-being of the nation, and
Whereas education is in large measure the result of the talent and commitment of teachers, and
Whereas teaching is a profession characterized by skill, knowledge, discipline, tenacity, and creativity in the delivery of instruction. And
Whereas teachers are a source of caring, concern, counseling, empathy, warmth, and love. And
Susan.
what? Oh, you get it?
Whereas teachers deserve widespread recognition and gratitude for their performance, and
Whereas teachers of the Fallbrook Union Elementary School District exemplify these qualities, and
Whereas teachers of the Fallbrook Union Elementary School District are challenged to educate and motivate students who have special needs that require unique skills and compassion.
Now therefore be it resolved, the governing board of the Fallbrook Union Elementary School District joins with the governor of the state of California legislature to declare May 3rd to the 7th, 2001 as the week of the teacher. And
Be it further resolved, the governing board of the Fallbrook Union Elementary School District encourages activities to recognize and honor teachers during this week.
passed and adopted this third day of May 2021 at a regular meeting of the governing board of Fallbrook Union Elementary School District.
thank you very much. Thank you for participating in this read aloud. And we do want to thank our teachers. What a wonderful job they do. This is just a small token of our appreciation to have this resolution in your honor tonight. Okay, and now we will move on to business services.
We have to vote.
Oh, we have to vote. I'm sorry, this is a vote to adopt. So let's begin with Mrs. Lundin.
First, we need to make a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to
Okay,
adopt.
a
the
second?
resolution.
Second.
Okay, and Mrs. Lundin?
Aye.
Mr. Favela?
Aye.
Mrs. Libas?
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So the motion passes. Thank you. And I guess we'll all be signing this. Okay, now we will move on to business services, the quarterly report of the chief financial officer.
And then for information, any questions?
Okay. And that was an information only and information on the 2019-20 audit report. Any questions?
I just wanted to say thank you to all of the staff that worked to get all the information. I've seen an audit of a much smaller organization, and it is an amazing amount of pulling little pieces of paper from random places and putting them all together. And I know that a lot of work went into it, so thank you.
You're welcome. Appreciate it. And it looked like it was good.
It's good.
Yeah,
No findings.
As well, given the 1920 year was COVID. So a lot of our functions that needed to continue were continued remotely. We still had to adhere to the same accounting standards and the internal controls and documentation. So I'm actually very proud of the work that we were able to do working remotely, because it wasn't the easiest thing, but we did it and did it successfully.
Good job.
And it is one serious report, 79 pages. So. Okay, so that was information only. And now we'll move on to human resources. This is an action item, declaration of the need for fully qualified teachers. A motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Are there any questions? Okay, we will take a vote. Mr. Favela,
Aye.
Mrs. Lundin.
Aye.
Mrs. Libas,
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The next is the educational services. This is information only, workshop and conference attendance. Any questions or thoughts?
Thank you to the teachers and the staff for taking the time to attend this conference. I've heard great things about CABE. Do we have anyone presenting this year? No, in the past we
Not
have.
that I know of this time. Yeah,
And I always love to see support for our multilingual
for
learners.
sure. Yeah, it's a great conference. They do a nice job.
Okay, and now we will move on to the consent agenda. Is there anything that anybody wants to pull from the consent agenda?
I move that we accept the consent agenda.
Second?
Is there a second?
Second?
Okay. Great. So we'll take a vote. Mrs. Lopez,
Aye.
Mrs. Libas,
Aye.
Mr. Favela,
Aye.
Mrs. Lundin,
Aye.
and I vote aye. So the consent agenda has passed. And now we will ask, are there any future agenda items to be considered for next board meeting?
I have an item. I would like us to consider an agenda item to consider a resolution to require that information be sent home with students to educate parents on their responsibility under existing state law that require gun owners to responsibly store any firearms they own. And I will find a sample resolution for next 2
Board
weeks meeting for
2
discussion.
weeks. Great. And are you tying that to just a resolution or training as well?
It's a resolution that would direct staff to disseminate information to our families.
And we're happy to assist too, Mrs. Libas, with identifying some sample resolutions for that, for the board's discussion next time.
Okay, so if there are no further agenda items to be added to next, in 2 weeks, our next board meeting, we will now adjourn into closed session, and then we will come back to adjourn the meeting. We are now adjourned to closed session. Okay, I would like to report out that there was no action taken in closed session, and we are closing the board meeting at 7:57. Thank you very much.